Welcome to the first of hopefully many coffee chats with an old coot. I'm going to explain the concept of this video series and what we're planning on, or what I'm planning on doing. I may have some help in the future. Around the South, on any given Friday especially, but weekdays, Saturdays, sometimes even Sundays, you could go to a Hardee's typically, or any mom and pop operation that sells breakfast items or sells a breakfast. And you'll find a bunch of guys there probably already had their sausage biscuit drinking coffee. The importance of this is not that they're drinking coffee, because it could be anything that they're drinking. Generally it is coffee, especially at Hardee's with the senior discount. But what they're doing while they're drinking this coffee is they're talking about things. They could be talking about political things, they could be talking about things in the community, they could be talking about their week, talking about going hunting, going fishing, talking about all sorts of things. There's not a topic seems like it's off limits. It's really quite a bit of non-politically correct stuff that goes on. They don't really get offensive or anything like that, and that's the concept I hope to bring across. I don't know that anybody's ever solved the world problem through the whole thing, or if they've really done anything more than maybe some local community stuff. Some of these guys are actually politicians in the local community. Some of these guys are community leaders. Got one that's you got guys from all walks of life, but generally it's in the South, especially in the small towns. I would assume this also happens in northern places, out west, who knows. People do gather and tend to talk like this, especially older gentlemen. They tend to do that. Now these videos are going to be just conversations about whatever topic I choose to pick. I might tell some stories, maybe something goes on during the week, like recently a lady used Gorilla Glue in her hair as hairspray. that was just something that I kind of wanted to address, and I did on Facebook, but I'm going to start doing things like that here. It just makes more sense to me. The hope is to have a new video hit every Wednesday or Friday, I'm not sure which. I'm thinking hit every Friday morning more than anything. And then perhaps during the week, if something comes up that I want to talk about, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to make a video and I'm going to post it so it's current when the current event is going on. It's not necessarily going to be the most politically correct channel. I will not try to offend anybody. I'm just giving my opinion and my thoughts. If for some reason they don't coincide with yours, that's fine. We don't have to necessarily agree. We can agree to disagree. No amount of arguing or discussion is going to change my mind. I don't imagine it's going to change yours. So please, in the comments, try not to get outrageous. If you do, especially if you start using foul language or insults, I will probably delete the comment, and if possible, never had to do this before, mute you or ban you from commenting on my videos or whatever it is that possibly can be done. If it can't be done, then I'll just continually delete them, whatever I've got to do. I will try and read every comment that anybody posts, and I will try and respond to each and every one with a video. If I can, if it warrants it. If not, I'm just going to type a comment out. This is a new line of thinking for me. I've done a few of these videos driving in my truck before. I do have a fishing channel that I kind of ran out of ideas on, so I've let that slide. We might pick that back up. I do have one other channel that I'm not going to mention here necessarily because it's more for kids, where I'm reading books. But this is my studio here. This is my backdrop for now. I'm using two inexpensive Walmart tarps off of a curtain rod hanging up to cover the wall. The wall is going to be being painted for a different set of video, as I mentioned, the children's book readings. So we have a good background for that. Yes, this is in my house. Dogs are barking at, that dog tends to bark at what we call cricket farts. Nothing really particular. I might have deliveries, I might have to stop in the middle of something, come back to it. There will be edits and cuts. Can't guarantee that I can get it all done in one take. Also, the wall behind me, mainly right here, is where the heating and air conditioning blower unit is in the house. It's going to come on and off as necessary between needing heating and air. I can't control that, and I'm not going to try and hide it. I may or may not turn my ceiling fan on in this room. You know, it is what it is. It's going to be what it is. It's going to be raw me sitting here doing this. I kind of miss going to these places for breakfast. The whole COVID-19 pandemic, we won't even go into all that, but that whole thing kind of limited me doing that, and pretty much I have quit going down to get breakfast. Usually it was with my wife on a Friday or Saturday before we went shopping. So I'm not going out as much. She's not wanting to go out as much. We're doing a whole lot more online. So there is that. So we're not doing it. Plus, a lot of the people who were doing it, all being older, generally we're staying home and not doing it. So this is kind of my substitute for that. And I think I need to introduce this to more people than just would be down at the local Hardee's. And I imagine there are things like that goes on even in big cities, but more people are not as exposed to this as I was growing up. Even growing up, you'd go down to the local feed store and there'd be a group of guys standing there with coffee in the morning, soda, whatever, and they'd be chatting. Same thing at the hardware store. Definitely, like I said, at the Hardee's or the McDonald's has been known before McDonald's got not so small town, and in the small town I grew up in, the town I grew up in is not so small town anymore, but they still meet at Hardee's, seems like. Different groups, like I say, happens all over. So this is what's going to go on. I do need to add, when I start telling some of the stories, if you recognize the story, you or somebody I personally know, and you're like, that sounds familiar, keep in mind, I'm not mentioning your name. I'm not talking bad about you. I'm just relaying the story. And maybe how I relay it may not be exactly how you remember it. It's my take and my side of the story, and I will admit to the fact that I might embellish it a little bit. Got to make it a little bit more entertaining. Generally, though, a lot of my stories and a lot of things that's happened to me are entertaining pretty much the way they are. I don't need to add. I don't need to embellish. So there is that. Just enjoy the stories and know that I'm not outing you and I'm not talking about you personally. I'm just relaying things as I see them, and if you take offense or say, hey, wait a minute, that ain't the way I remember it, well, you remember it differently than I remember it. That's fine. Alright, hope you enjoy these videos, and we'll talk to you later. Got a cup of coffee right here I need to finish, so we're going to do that and go on with the rest of my day.